Yeah, I mean, it's a really interesting question when we think of unification between the two. I mean, every brand needs to first and foremost consider themselves omni-channel, and then their teams need to understand what that really means and how the success of the organization is dependent on the success of both digital and retail. And for some brands, they have a wholesale component that, now what I'm seeing is a lot of retailers that are wholesale, that are direct to consumer right in the digital space. And then they have the brick and mortar locations. And there's a lot of juggling that needs to happen. I've seen brands that bonus their store associates for filling those digital orders. And I've still seen, even within that bonus structure, where teams don't fulfill the order because they feel somehow resentful about giving that product to someone else when they want it for the customer who walks in their door. I mean, I saw it where I worked when I ran store operations as the vice president at Justice. I had store managers who told me that, and I'm like, okay, I hear you. I get it. She walks in. You don't want to disappoint her. What other options do we have? And there were, I would say, more just fulfilled because they understood the bigger picture. But you're always going to have a few that really struggle with that. But I think it's tough. I'm working with a client right now. They don't incentivize their team, and their team fills orders because they get it. But this is also a brand who invests heavily, heavily in training. Very unique for a retail brand. They're a retailer who believes training is almost more important than anything else they do. And they also pay higher than most retailers pay because they want to attract the best talent, and then they're going to develop them, and they're going to expect them to do what they need them to do to create amazing experiences. So, there's brands out there that can figure it out, but there are no shortcuts. And I can't stress that enough. You can say, I'll just throw the stores a few dollars and hope they fill orders. Well, that's not really the solution. That's a shortcut. You can't just throw dollars at people. Some managers would say to me, I'm insulted by the dollars. You think that I wouldn't fill an order for my customer? I love my customer, right? So, I think it just goes back to, there won't be a one size fits all solution for every retailer, but one size that does fit all is talk to your team, listen to your team, and make sure that you always start with why. From there, I think you can customize it, but those three things are really a recipe for success, versus leave those things out and you've got the opposite, right? Probably a recipe for disaster, to use your term.